Hello everyone, Dallas here. We are going to be doing a review on this NUX C-5RC 5.8 gigahertz wireless guitar system. It's got a bunch of cool features that we'll be checking out. I can tell you some of them right now really quickly. It's 5.8 gigahertz wireless band effectively avoids common 2.4 gig interference for a more stable signal. Plug and play, it automatically pairs the devices on startup to the same channel and selects the best channel, probably with the least amount of interference. No complex setup required. Up to 4 hours on the battery, which is pretty cool. Of course, it's compact and portable. It doesn't get in the way of the tremolo arm, apparently, and it's easy to carry anywhere. Authentic tone, 24-bit, 44.1, high-resolution audio, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, full frequency response, 110 decibel dynamic range, and built-in cable tone technology to replicate the character of traditional guitar cables. That's interesting. I mean, I don't really honestly think that matters that much as long as all the frequencies are there and there's not a major amount of latency. You're really splitting hairs at that point. So I don't really know how I feel about that. Yeah, here you go. Only 5 milliseconds of latency for near wire playing experience. Up to 30 meters transmission distance, which is basically like 100 feet. Line of sight, so as long as there's no obstructions between you and the transmitter, or the receiver, I mean, you shouldn't have any issues. One-touch mute for quick switching during breaks. That's pretty cool. Suitable for guitars, basses, and other instruments. Perfect for practice, rehearsals, and live performances. So yeah, we're going to do a quick unboxing on this and see what all is in the box. All right, quick little unboxing here. Get this plastic off. Cool. Yep, pretty cool little box that we're going to try not to destroy. Is this actually just in? Okay, yeah, it's actually in here like this. Cool. And what else do we have? Okay, neat. Oh, look at this. That is really nice. Nice little carrying case for it. And here is the manual, which we'll check out here in a minute. And let's see what we got in here. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, so here's the cable. And yeah, okay, neat. So this right here, oh, that is really cool. So basically, this thing right here, you can charge up to charge these. So this thing has got a charge already. So you charge that up with this, the internal battery, or you could probably just leave it plugged in depending on the situation. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's charging these things right now. That is really cool. And okay, so I see one of them has a different sticker on there, or an additional sticker on there. That must determine which end it is. Is it the guitar end or the amp end? So far, very impressed with the packaging and how this thing is charging inside this thing. That is really cool. Somebody is definitely thinking about the traveling musician. Okay, just looking at the manual really quickly. Hopefully you can see that. There's right there, it's showing the battery life, what the LED indicator is indicating concerning battery health and stuff like that. It's basically just showing you a rundown of how to do it. One of them obviously goes in the guitar and the other one obviously goes to the amp. I guess if you're putting a pedal in front, then this thing would just plug into the pedal, which is probably what we're going to end up doing. So cool, yeah. It's very self-explanatory. It's showing how to charge it. Yeah, to recharge the power case. Yeah, so you can charge the power case, but you can also recharge these using this cable, which is very cool in case this thing got lost or whatever and you still had these. But hopefully that would never happen. These things should just definitely go back in this awesome case and then into your guitar case. I mean, that's really cool setup. I'm really digging it. Huh. So if you're using active pickups, you might need a jumper cable to get the transmitter away from the pickups. Interesting. Good thing I don't use active pickups. It'll automatically turn off after 10 minutes too, which is also a very cool feature. Yep, great. Yeah. Some active pickups might not work with the transmitter. And that's just because this has got a stereo 1/4 inch instead of a mono. So I guess the ring tip sleeve, blah, 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 what have you, is different. So, all right, let's move on to the next phase of actually testing this guy out. Also, one more thing in case you were wondering. It says it right on there, transmitter and receiver. And the transmitter has a FCC regulatory. That's what the extra sticker is for. I had to put my glasses on to see that. But there you go. I also noticed the picture now in the front. One of them has the transmitter, sort of Wi-Fi looking thing on there, and then the other one's got like a satellite, I guess, for the receiver. Duh. Yeah. So we're going to run this thing through some paces. I was going to run it through its paces in the worst practice amp in existence, but I decided to change my mind and bring us in here. I've got my PV Windsor. It's going to an isolated cabinet somewhere hidden. And I've got I've got the receiver plugged into the pedal, which then goes into the amp. And what we have without the pedal engaged is this. Not quite enough distortion for me. Now, since it mentioned in the manual about it having some sort of feature that makes it like having a cable, I want to do a little taste test on that. We're going to do this thing. We might even record it and see if there's any difference. That's what we're going to do. We're going to record a basic riff with using the NUX wireless system, and we're going to record that same riff with a cable and see what that's about. So I threw together a quick session over here so we can test this thing out. When I was thinking about this earlier to do the test between the wireless and the cable, I realized that somebody might say something about the fact, well, since I've got this plugged into a pedal, I already have a cable in line. So we're going to go ahead and proceed and see if we can see any audio or hear any difference between this and my trusty pig hog cable down there. And then we're also going to go directly into the amp for a test. And that's what we're going to do right now. So without further ado, let me record a riff to a click track. It's been A lot of fun time with the click track recording riffs, but here we go. Alright, now we're going to do it with the cable. Alright, now we're going to record the same thing again with a cable, with my 20-foot pig hog cable. Alright, so I think I at least heard or maybe felt a little bit of a difference when the pedal was not engaged. You know, the pedal is slamming the front end of this amp pretty hard, like all the way up. This amp seems to really enjoy that. So let's just do this. The next test is we're going to go straight into this baby. We're going to go over here and mute this channel real quick and add a couple of more. I'm running Reaper. It's like criminally easy to use. That's why I love it so much. Let's see. All right. So we're going straight in with the old pig hog cable here. Which is an okay sound for this amp. I mean, it's not quite enough distortion for me, but that's kind of the beauty of it, because when you do add more, it's still very clear. All right, same riff. Here we go. Now we're going to track the guitar riff going in straight into the amp using the wireless system. And so after doing this test, I didn't notice it obviously so much with the pedal, because the pedal is just slamming so much extra gain into everything. But definitely going direct or with the pedal disengaged, there's a little bit more of a clankiness with the wireless that I was noticing compared to the cable. I personally find that it's, very interesting that they included or mentioned that you could be used in the studio, because typically in the studio, you're stationary, so use a cable, unless you're in a situation where you're recording, say, like a lead guitarist that likes to stand while playing and maybe likes to stand in a certain part of the room or what have you. I mean, it would have an application with that, but as far as, typically you would just use it. I mean, this would definitely be, in my opinion, more for a live thing. As far as them giving it the cable effect, well, okay, but I mean, it's just different. I mean, it definitely is different. I wouldn't say bad, but it is definitely different. So I'm hoping that we can hear that even on this camera. All right, so I have this up close here so we can see what's going on. I can see over here where I have everything labeled: NUX into the pedal, pig hog cable into the pedal, and then straight into the amp with the cable, and then straight into the amp with the wireless. And initially, I'm not hearing much difference with the pedal. That's just because it's distorting everything, and it's got a lot more gain and drive on it. So the nuances of the signal get more compressed. So I'm not really hearing much of a difference. So here we go. So yeah, not hearing too much of a difference there. Let's go to straight in with the pig hog cable, and then straight in with the NUX wireless, and see what kind of differences we hear, if any. There is a definite difference. Let me go ahead and just mute these out and do that again so we can hear the difference. And I'll switch over as quickly as I can. There's the cable. Yeah, it definitely sounds different. I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad. A lot of that's, speculative or, a matter of opinion. But there is definitely a difference. Let's try that again. Let's see if I can close the gap up a little. Or actually, let's do it this way. Let's start with this one and then we'll move to that one. So it's kind of a small difference. The NUX sounds a little bit more clanky than the cable, but we're splitting hairs here. I just thought it was kind of weird and funny that they brought up that it's supposed to sound like a cable. I just thought that was kind of weird. I think all that aside, though, I think it sounds very good. It's very usable. I didn't really notice any latency or anything like that. It seems to keep a very solid signal. And yeah, I think it's really good, especially for live use or just for, not having cables in the floor all the time. So definitely great for practice and live use. Thanks ahead for watching. I really like doing these kind of things. It's pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed the review of this NUX C-5RC or C-5RC. I think this is a really good product. I think it solves a lot of issues for live stuff. It's very portable and, cost effective. I mean, this thing is pretty reasonable as wirelesses go, and it's proven to be pretty reliable. I've been kind of using it around here all day just to check out battery life and all that stuff. And it's not dropping out, causing any issues. Things are getting increasingly difficult travel-wise, more expensive to travel for anybody that's a touring musician or whatever. And this is something that can just fit right in your guitar case. And yeah, it doesn't weigh hardly anything. So this is definitely a solution for a lot of issues you could run into. And also, if you're just practicing around the house, it's nice to be able to, get up and just put the guitar down and not worry about tripping on cables and all that kind of stuff. So it's really useful in a lot of ways. And, one more thing I can say is that wireless systems, the first wireless system I ever used was in 1989, and it was absolutely terrible. I mean, it dropped out once you got far enough away from the amp. Of course, that's unavoidable. I mean, it just wasn't great, and they were kind of expensive too. And the technology has just come so far. And you know, this is actually a really amazing product. And cheers, like and subscribe, all that happy stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video.